you as a parent is that find yourself to be identifying with finding sensations to be overwhelming, experiencing them more intensely than you think other people do around you, what are some other things that you might experience? So by the end of the day, you are agitated or overwhelmed or just very tired from overflowing, like just feeling overflowed and full from all of these different sensations that you're experiencing in the day. When you're interacting with your kids, you could be worried about what they might do, right? So if we're playing together and our child makes a lot of sounds and we know that, and sounds are not comfortable for us, we could go into that interaction with our child knowing it's coming, right? I know that we're going to make a lot of noise and I know I'm going to be uncomfortable. Or we're uncertain about when certain things are going to happen, right? So if we have a child who's impulsive, say, and we don't like a lot of touch, and we know at any random moment that child might jump onto our lap, that discomfort that you bring into that relationship and into that interaction, it looks very anxious and timid and hesitant. Okay, if we have a sensory under-responsive parent profile, these parents may seem like they're unmotivated. They may appear to be too low to activate and engage, just not registering what is available for interaction with the child, just not having enough input to really be up and out and available. Your own low affect from this under responsivity could be read as from your child as disinterest. Or you could maybe not even pick up their bids to play, right? If they're not overtly providing you with a bid for interaction, you might miss a small social cue, such as a small glance or a quiet comment, because it wasn't enough to be registered by your body. All right, so our parents who are sensory craving, they may be too focused on getting input rather than on the play with the child themselves, right? So the child invites you to jump on the trampoline with them, and rather than thinking about the game you're going to interact with and play with your child, you get wrapped up with the jumping on the trampoline and the actual input that you're getting from that. And you miss this opportunity for back and forth flow with the child. So you might gravitate more towards the physical play, but your child may be somebody who prefers more sedentary play, right? So there may be a mismatch in play styles if you need to be more physically engaged and they do not. So our impact on our parents for sensory discrimination. So we go to play, these parents go to play with their child. They're not overwhelmed by sensations. They're not underwhelmed. They don't need input. They're available, right? We're there together. The parent and the child, parent and caregiver and child are together, and they're ready to play. And they're completely engaged and available, but they're not sure what to do, right? There's this confusion about how to effectively participate in the play. They can't follow the play. There's a mismatch between the child's idea and what the parent brings to that idea. All right, so our parents who have postural challenges. So the biggest one here, I feel like we see is low endurance, where it's the end of the day, typically when they have this time to engage with their child, and they're so tired from maintaining their body in the position it needed to be in throughout the entire day, that when it's time to get on the floor and play with their child, they are exhausted, right? Similar to our under-responsive parents, where we have a low affect, like a lower muscle tone and just lower affect in our posture parents, where they're not able to give a lot of affect, right? That facial expression, the tone in the face that is required, or even in body gestures, right? When we have an upright body position, we seem interested and curious. If our posture is constantly slumped over or constantly hanging, to just that weak postural look, you look very interested in what anybody has to offer you, right? So if this is the way you're carrying yourself, mostly because you don't have that stability in your core, then the communication to the other person is, I'm not interesting. Okay, and then finally, our parents with dyspraxia. So our impact of motor planning challenges in our caregivers. we go to play, and I chuckle a little bit because I feel like this is the one that both in my own sessions and the sessions with my own therapist, we talk about a lot. Where we'll say, the therapist might come to me and say, you know what, I think the parent isn't quite sure how to play, right? Or really just can't sequence the actions that we're trying to do in the session. So I'm having a hard time with them joining because they don't know what to do. And this is for so many reasons, right? We always want to know, how did the parents play when they were younger? What does play mean for them? So there's other reasons, obviously, for this than the sensory motor. But if we want to take that little sensory motor lens for a second and wonder if it is sensory motor in nature, right? Can they come up with ideas to play? Are they so dysregulated by change that when they go to be in the interaction and the play with their child, they're worried about it being different than the last time they played it, or when there's a change in the play, they can't come up with the next step in order to continue the interaction with the child.